Alright, this is a short video about the steamship J.B. Ford. The J.B. Ford is over there, what's left of it. It was built in December 12th, 1903 is when it was launched. And I just want to do a short little book plug and also a postcard plug. So there's the J.B. Ford now. These you can find on eBay. These are postcards of the J.B. Ford center boat there in 1903. This is also, you can find on the internet. Her sister ship, the Umbria, in 1905 after the storm. This is another one you can find on the internet of the Ford Pilot House, which you can see they already cut that up on here. I just want to go over a handful of books after this is recycled completely. There's a handful of books that mention the J.B. Ford and or the Edwin F. Holmes, and I just wanted to point these out to you in case you decided you wanted to research more about this ship. The first one I wanted to plug was Lake Superior Shipwrecks by Julius F. Wolff, and in it the Edwin F. Holmes is mentioned in there as colliding with the Steamship America, which was a little passenger ship, and it collided with it in the harbor, just crushing in some of its cabins in 1904, and it was able to continue on its journey. The America will outlast this ship because it's underwater off Isle Royale. The next book I wanted to plug, which mentions the J.B. Ford in 1983, is End of an Era by David Plowden. It has several photos and a little story of when the author, David Plowden, saw this ship entering Waukegan Harbor in 1983. It looked much different back then. The next book I'd like to do is Fleet Histories by John Greenwood. By John Greenwood, and it mentions the history of the Hawgood fleet, which this vessel was a member of the Hawgood fleet. Moving along, in 2005, Franz VonRiedel wrote another book including this vessel, the J.B. Ford, and his book is Commercial Ships of the Great Lakes. Copyright 2005, and there's a photo of the ship when it was closer to being intact. The last three books I want to mention, David West in 2001 toured the ship when it was across the harbor in Superior, and it's mentioned in this book with photos from that tour, and also gives a brief history of the ship. You can find these from the publisher and also many different book websites. 2015, Frederick Stonehouse mentioned the Last Waker in this book. The Last Waker, when because the first captain that was lost on the Henry B. Smith was captain of the J.B. Ford, went with the Edwin F. Holmes. Also, I want to point out in this book there's a number of photos from the day of the survey in 2013. Lastly, I got two other books I want to mention. This is by LeRoy Rubinas, Steamship J Ford vessel survey photos, and this has all the photos from the surveyor himself in 2013. The last waker includes photos from the person that wants to save it for a museum. And also in 1991, also by LeRoy Rubinas, the J Ford was a museum ship for a day when 30 museum guests from Chicago Maritime Society toured the ship in March of 1991. Well, I hope you enjoyed this short video. It's sad to see such a historical ship cut up for scrap, but hopefully it'll be made into something new that will also make history.